Yo, this is your boy Flex from Jersey. I'm here with my man Dan Duarte, the Coast to Coast podcast. And when we chilling back and kicking it, we listening to the Aussie Suns Fans podcast with my man Dan Duarte and the Coast to Coast squad.
Aussie Suns Fan podcast. And guess what, guys? Sponsored by @Buffalo Trace. Unofficially, of course.
Let's go.
As Chris Paul gets in, another wide open three.
Suns. Pierre Cardin. Suns.
The first to Booker for the long range.
Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the valley, it ain't nothing but a thing. Phoenix. Phoenix Suns, and you know we up next. Yeah, we working for that championship ring. We the valley, it ain't nothing but a thing.
We did.
Follow on from that, Dan.
Yeah.
We had Justin on. We had a fun pod, but I want to open the floor now for your writer reply, because I'm sure you listened to it, and Justin was not very complimentary. So, writer reply.
Justin has issues, man. You know what?
Stop drinking for starters. Like, give the man a break.
I mean, there was that, and then he didn't tell anybody about it. And then he said, "Hey, let's go to happy hour." We went to happy hour, and he's like, "Oh, I don't drink." I'm like, "Oh, the fuck we doing here then?" So there's that. And I you know what they say about lawyers, man, because Justin does not know how to turn that shit off. And sometimes I'm like, dude, stop trying to fucking lawyer me. I'm your friend, asshole. But in all seriousness, man, that guy, he's become one of my closest friends. Like I said, the people on Twitter, Flex, Espo, Justin, Paul, probably some other people I haven't mentioned, become some of my closest friends that I talk to on a daily, right? And it's just like sometimes, you have those little run-ins with people, and like Paul, like I love the hell out of Paul, but me and Paul have had our, disagreements, as you can say. So it's all love. Yeah. It's all love, man. But I do talk a lot of shit. And honestly, Justin may not talk shit directly, but he's very sarcastic, and he very much is. He's very a matter of fact about stuff. So, but other than that, I can't say much bad stuff about him.
Well, that's
like matter of fact, you'll fit in here.
That's really disappointing. Justin didn't actually say anything bad about you, but
what a total wind up that was, huh?
No. I listened. I think the worst thing you said was that he doesn't drink, but I'll drink for the both of us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you writing checks you can't cash, man?
The worst thing he actually said was that you didn't follow me and Boyd on Twitter.
But we fixed that though. We fucking fixed that.
It was cool to hear, because he told me to follow him, but I didn't know he was on the pod when he asked me that. And then I listened. And then when I listened to the podcast, I heard it play out in real time, and I was like, "All right,
oh mate."
Hey, well, while we're on that and we're talking about drinking, let's just do a segue here. This is the Dan Duarte media break. Take it away, Dan.
All right, this episode of Aussie Suns Fans is brought to you by @Buffalo Trace Whiskey, the best Kentucky straight bourbon out there. Guys, if you want something that's pretty cheap, you can get a bottle for about $25 to $28, and you want something really smooth and oaky.
You're in Australia, man. 25 to 28.
It's like it's $60 over here, bro.
You couldn't let that go, man. I'm just kidding. Go get yourself a bottle of Buffalo Trace, man.
They need to be.
All right.
You
that
need
was
to check.
fantastic. Thanks for that,
Where
Dan.
do we buy it in Australia?
What's that?
Nate?
Dan Murphy's, man. Dan Murphy's, it's on every shelf there.
Dan
$60.
Murphy's.
$60
Hey, Flex. That's gonna be our first sponsor, man.
Hey, bro, you need a check for that, brother. You need a check for that. That shit.
I got
Hey, fellas, even we've got a Ladbrokes code. We've got a corporate. Like, what are you guys doing?
Oh, no shit. All right.
Flex, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Given it's just us here and no one else will ever see it, can you give us any breaking news in Suns World as an exclusive?
Yeah, Devin Booker's not playing against OKC.
That's not an exclusive.
There's not listen, this exclusive, there's nothing exclusive to talk about right now. But yeah, Devin's not playing Sunday against OKC. And he's
I didn't know that. That's
an
exclusive.
exclusive. Yeah. That's an exclusive for us.
Yeah, he's not going to play Sunday against OKC. He's probably not going to play against Sacramento. And there's probably a third game. Yeah. He's about to rest up. So we won't see him on Sunday. I can break that news right here. Hold on, give me one second.
So there we go, Aussie Suns fans, with our Ladbreaks code. Don't bet on Devin Booker on Sunday.
Don't take the over on Devin Booker Sunday, because that boy won't be playing.
That's good. The rest of the odds
so,
will be better. It'll be good.
See, now you get other exclusives though, Flex. Like today, we are rather excited about Rally Beach, especially me and Gav there, because we're obviously going to go to the Rally Beach. What do you know outside of the graphic from today's game that we don't?
Hold on. Rephrase that question. I'm confused. Say that again.
So the Rally Beach promo thing that they're selling tickets to outside the stadium. So obviously everyone's not going to get tickets to all the playoff games. So they've got this separate event where you can now go and there's like it's a volleyball thing with
the Rally Beach thing. Yep, okay. Yep.
What can you tell us about that we didn't see on the graphic during today's game?
No fucking idea.
All right. I'm super happy I took all that time to bring it up. That's awesome.
No, you know what?
I know nothing.
Yesterday.
That's just ruined one of our rapid fire questions. But
no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my brother. I actually don't know much about that situation. About I saw the Rally Beach thing, but
well, I had two questions, so I hope my second one fucking lands at some point.
I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry I disappointed you.
All right,
I saw their
my last question is directed to Dan. Dan?
Yeah.
Because I did follow what you were saying today. How good is Suns Twitter when we're losing?
Good Lord, man. Oh my God. Like people were freaking out. I heard people were saying trade DeAndre, trade DA, pull him. Don't play him the rest of the season because he doesn't care. I'm like, good Lord, man. I didn't get to watch a lot of the game today because I didn't get off work till it was about halfway over. By the time I got home, I caught the fourth quarter. But I will say this, like their offense and some of their sets they're running looked a little off. I don't know if that might be by design. If my guess was it's by design, we very well could see the Grizzlies in the playoffs and the Warriors. So I'm not surprised that the two weird games that didn't look like we were in sync were against those teams. So I'm not surprised there, but the amount of overreaction is getting ridiculous. I mean, people are this is a 62 win team, man. You guys got to calm the fuck down. And that's coming from me. I freaked out more than anybody.
15 losses.
15 losses.
Whenever we lose, it's like Twitter gets burnt to the ground.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's crazy.
I got people asking all kind of the DMs are crazy right now. It's just silly stuff, man. Listen, at the end of the day, guys, today's game, I actually got it right in front of me because I wanted to talk. Today was a trap game, man. It's the epitome of a trap game.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis they had nothing to lose. Memphis played us straight up. They got a dub in Phoenix. And now we come over here. They bench all their stars. If they win, it's a win-win. It's a win-win for them. If they lose, they were supposed to lose. If they win, they feel good about it. But the Phoenix Suns were completely in the trap game tonight. They had nothing to gain from this game.
And they played like it.
They played like it. They came out flat. Listen, they lost this game. It was a plus 18. Memphis was a plus 18 if in the first and the fourth quarter versus the Suns. And that's just not going to get it done. They were plus 14 on the offensive glass, guys. 16-2 on the offensive glass. That's not Phoenix Sun basketball.
Boy,
not Phoenix Sun
offensive rebounds still not a problem.
No. They weren't when we originally talked about it, mate. And look, and hey,
Bro,
here's the thing.
I don't think it's a problem.
No, I don't think
this-
it's a
all
problem. I
this-
just think tonight was an aberration. That's what I think.
All this
Nah,
rebounding
come
talk,
on.
Gavin.
It's
all
been,
this
it's been a
rebounding talk,
problem all season.
mate. Da had 12. JaVale had 12 today. Our two main guys who are that's their fucking job, right? They're doing it okay right now. I'm not too concerned. It's the other guys, man. Like
What was it? Minus what? 14?
What's that?
It was minus 14 on the offensive glass today. 16-2. But here's the thing, guys. When I say it's an aberration, it's not. I'm not saying that they don't get beat on the offensive glass. I'm saying they don't normally get beat by plus 14. That's an aberration.
Plus 14. Plus 14.
Plus 14.
crazy,
Yeah,
but-
that's a ridiculous number. And about DA. So people want to get down on DA, and you mentioned it. Tillman, he just doesn't get up for some of these games. But I will say this. I truly wholeheartedly believe, like, if American football, I don't know if y'all watch American football that much, right? But American football, there are certain teams that are built for the playoffs. You can watch them in the regular season and they don't look flashy, but then when the playoffs come, they just boom, it all clicks because they're built for the playoffs. They play defense, they run the ball.
The goddamn New England Patriots for 18
That's
years.
right. That's right. DeAndre Ayton is absolutely unequivocally built to play in a playoff.
We saw that last year.
We saw that last year. So I'm not worried about what I'm seeing from DA right now because possessions slow down. We play in the half court. Rebounds are more important. Picks, rim rolls, all those little intricate things that get you championships. DeAndre does in spades in the playoffs. So
I'm not afraid of what DA's doing. I'm afraid of what everyone else is doing on the defensive glass.
Got you. Oh no. So your concerns on the defensive glass or the offensive glass?
Well, our defensive glass, the opposition getting offensive rebounds.
Offensive rebounds. Gotcha,
I don't think we hit the glass hard enough.
Okay.
Outside of DA.
Like today, it's a perfect stat that told me today was an aberration. Torrey Craig. Okay, Torrey Craig, for my money, is one of the best rebounders at his position at getting rebounds that he shouldn't fucking get. He grabs 5, 6, 7 a game that you're like, how the hell did Torrey Craig grab that rebound? Yeah. How many rebounds he had tonight? 0.
Yeah.
Right. So that's an aberration. That's not who we are. We only had 2 players in double figures tonight. It was just one of those games that you could see from the very beginning. You're like, this is not the Phoenix Suns. And I'm gonna tell you something. You know what? It's funny. Where the fuck did Dan go? He just disappeared.
We've been going for like an hour and 10 minutes. He probably needs a piss. Like at some point,
he'll be back.
At some point, Gav is just gonna piss into an empty beer bottle. So
Yeah, it looked like Dan just took out a 12-pack. So he definitely got. But you know what, guys? I'm actually I was talking to a close friend of mine about the situation about winning 63 games, and I'm actually, and I'm not bullshitting here. I'm actually glad we lost tonight, and not because I'm not. I don't like any loss.
You can do it at home.
No. So I'm gonna give you one deeper. So this was about a week ago. I was looking at the schedule and I'm talking to a friend of mine that's close to the team. And I'm saying, you know what, man, what'd be really cool? It'd be really cool if this Suns team could win 63 on Sunday versus OKC. And he was like, why? And I'm like, Monty Williams, man. Monty Williams was in OKC. He had the tragic situation with his wife. People forget he was playing against the Phoenix Suns the night his wife died. He was the coach of the OKC Thunder and was actually playing against the Phoenix Suns. And so there's in a weird way, it would be really cool for Monty to win 63 in OKC, where it all started for the team. Think about that. The worst night of your life was against the Phoenix Suns. And now he goes into the town that he lived with his wife and had to relive all that stuff. And now he's the head coach of the Phoenix Suns, and he's going to do it in OKC. 63 wins, franchise high, probably cement coach of the year. And so when I thought about that, the emotional part of me was like, man, that's coming full circle. That's like
flex.
That is legit the deepest. That's the deepest moment we've ever had on this podcast.
That's a fucking movie right there. That's your fucking story right there. Let's fucking do it.
It's crazy stuff. But so, selfishly, I came into this game and I'm like, if we win it, we win it. And honestly, you guys were a part of why I wanted to win, because I wanted to do this fucking pod with the 6 win with y'all. But when it didn't happen, it kind of dawned on me. It's like, you know what? This is cool. Sunday, we'll do it Sunday for Monty and OKC, and it can come full circle. And he can have that moment with his family and reflect and say, man, this is some cool stuff. So hopefully it gets done Sunday.
That will work for us for our regularly scheduled weekly pod, because it's Monday our time. So we will win that and then do our regularly scheduled weekly pod and winners.
I want to try and get some following from you guys against my local potters over here. Cam Johnson.
Fuck me, Boyd. Sit back in your chair and shut the fuck up.
Come on, boys.
Is there
next
a
season,
world,
bitch?
Is
Fucking
there a world where Cam Johnson is our starting for next season over Jay Crowder, and it's all amicable, and Jay's happy?
Hang on, what's this next season shit? You've been pitching it as in next week.
Absolutely. I think it's only a matter of time. Listen, I look at the Cam Johnson situation very much like I looked at the Mikal Bridges situation. We were looking at Kelly Oubre in front of Mikal Bridges, but me and Dan could tell you, we had these talks behind the scenes. We were saying it. I'm saying that you cannot keep holding this kid back. Like, Mikal Bridges is a starter in the NBA, and he is going to be fantastic. I call him Young Scotty, because I think he's one of the closest things I've seen to Scottie Pippen. He reminds me a lot of a young Scottie Pippen.
Good comparison.
I feel the same way about Cam Johnson. The kid is uber talented. He's a starter on 25, 26 other NBA teams. He's not a starter on this team because the way we're built and the system we run and the success we've had doing it this way predicates that we keep it that way. But I can't see another season where Cam Johnson is coming off the bench as the 6th, 7th guy off the bench. It just doesn't make sense. Go ahead, talk to me.
Walk us through some stuff. So Gavin Meyer's reply to that comment has always been Jay Crowder is part of the culture. So that five, that dog culture, the Chris Paul and Jay Crowder, and then the noobs, like the young guys coming through, has always been part of this season, what made it work. So me and Gav have always been like, you don't disrupt the culture and the impact that he has from the 6th position. And to just put a little bit of shit on Boyd, because we never miss an opportunity. He has never said next season. He's always gone next week. He's always gone next week on this topic.
Boy,
we're going to give him a break and talk about next season.
No, guys.
You're a lying shit, boy.
My words were, if it were me, I would have him start this season, but I think he is.
You know what? I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to what we've spoken about before. Whether you're a starter or not means nothing.
That's right.
It's the minutes you play on the floor.
That's right.
Now, whether Cam comes off the bench or whether he starts or whether Jay starts, it's about the minutes and the impactful minutes they play on the floor. Starting is the most overrated thing in the NBA right now.
Absolutely. You know what?
Because Cam closes a lot of games too.
No, he does. He closes a lot.
I mean,
I'm
there's a lot of times when Jay Crowder's on the bench. When the Suns are closing it out.
Before this,
absolutely right.
Flex, do you see any issue, and Dan, with Jay taking a bench position in the culture shift, which is what we're talking about?
I don't. And here's my answer to that, guy. I'm sorry, Dan. You good?
No, you're good, bro.
Here's my answer to that. You see, there's going to be an obvious shift that may happen this summer. And that shift is you're probably going to have to pay Cam Johnson $100 million. And so when you start paying a guy $100 million, you can't play him 21 minutes a game. That's just the way it goes. That's number one. Number two, you have to start to set the foundation, because when you go into next year, Jay Crowder's got 1 year left, right? So you don't want to play. You want to give Cam Johnson a head start on that situation, because you just never know what's going to happen with Jay Crowder's situation a year later. I do think Jay's going to come back to the Suns. And I'm gonna give you an example that I've had with a couple people about this conversation. This very conversation I've had with some close friends of mine, and this is where it comes down to. And this is my comparison. Andre Iguodala, at one point for Golden State, had to do that very thing. He had to go from being a guy that was a starter to a guy that was coming off the bench and accepting his role. And he did a damn great job at it. I think that's the blueprint for Jay Crowder. I think you go to Jay Crowder and you say, okay, listen, guys, Cam Johnson, this kid's phenomenal. This kid has to eventually be an NBA starter. We've invested in him. But we love you, Jay. At the end of the day, you're still going to get your 20, 25 minutes a game, and you're still going to cross-match with certain lineups, and you're still going to do what we need as far as the culture. So I don't think it's a problem, and I think the beauty of it is Jay's an incredible human being. He's an incredible teammate. He's extremely close with these guys. And if there's anybody in the NBA that's going to sit there and say, I'm okay with doing this for Cam Johnson, it's Jay Crowder. Because honestly, Jay Crowder is one of Cam's biggest. He's Cam Johnson's one of Jay's big. He's one of his biggest fans. So I really believe it's going to happen next year. I think it's going to happen next year, and I don't think it's going to be a problem because I think this team is built for that. This is a family, man. These guys genuinely love each other 1 through 15, and so I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, and to your point, Boyd, about the culture. I mean, that's part of the culture, right? Part of the culture is putting yourself aside, putting your ego aside, and saying, "Hey, man, this young man, it's his time. It's his time to start." And then maybe Jay Crowder next season can be Rodney Rogers as a sixth man. Remember when Rodney Rogers won the Sixth Man of the Year award?
Rodney Rogers, I love him.
Very well see that. Yeah. To your point, Jay Crowder is a junkyard dog, man. I don't think he doesn't have an ego. And I hate this comparison because he's nothing like him, but he's cut from the same cloth as Patrick Beverley. He's just, you're going to hate him if he's not on your team. But if he's on your team, you fucking love him. I hated Jay Crowder before the Suns signed him. I did.
Really?
Yeah,
well, he had that thing with Booker.
He had that thing with Booker.
I hated him too. As I hated Chris Paul.
For sure. So I can see that. And you know what? Cut from the same cloth as Patrick Beverley, that might be a little strong because I really don't want to. I don't want to associate it with him. I'll say cut from the same cloth as like Marcus Smart. Somebody like that fucking
much
plays
better,
with their hair on fire.
Yeah, that's a great.
Isn't afraid to get in your face either. You know what I mean?
As long as you don't say cut from the same cloth as Amoro. All right, Nate. You have any other questions for these two gentlemen?
I should probably air it before I said something to Dan about being Boyd's pod boyfriend. And now after listening to both Dan and Flex talk up Cam over Crowder, I'm just glad in this podcast there's an imaginary bench in front of us and we can't see Boyd and his reaction if he stands up.
Hey, but let it be known. Me and Flex both said next season because we saw the Suns without Jay when he was out with COVID and he had a couple other injuries. When Cam Johnson started, the bench was lost, man. They didn't have that. They didn't have that punch off the bench.
Which is exactly what I brought
happens?
up.
Guys, what happens? What happens when Jay goes
a couple of weeks ago? And Boyd, you fucking slammed me. But I did. I made it very, very clear that our bench sucked ass with Cam Johnson.
There's a distinct difference between losing the likes of Jay Crowder to an injury and not having him on the bench to fill Cam's spot. That's a good
point.
Good point.
Because we're just swapping them out, guys. We're just swapping them out.
Jay can't hit a fucking three either at the moment. Dan, we're going to open the floor to you. Do you have any questions for us as Aussies who follow the Suns? Anything you like? I'm gonna go with the normal. Ask us about our riding our kangaroos to work. Anything else? Look at Nate.
No, but I'll say this. I went down a rabbit hole of kangaroo videos. Man, I hope I never come across that because they will fuck your shit up, dude. They're all jacked and they got.
That's basically kangaroos. What you see from kangaroos is what you see from us. So they're pretty scrappy.
I'll ask you guys this. You guys seem like a pretty close-knit group. One, how did that come together? How long have you guys known each other? when you guys decided to do a podcast. And how the hell did you guys start rooting for the Phoenix Suns?
All right,
That's two
there's
fucking great
two
questions.
completely separate questions there. So I'll try and guide this. We'll start with how we came about supporting the Phoenix Suns. Nate?
Well, most of us have the same story, and it was what we can see in our country at the time we were fans, right? So the 93-94 team, we're all, me, Boyd, and Gav are all roughly the same age, and that was when we were getting the Suns in our face, the 93 team, and we don't get a lot of broadcasts back then. It was minimal, and so we get glimpses, and we fall in love with the glimpses we get. And for me, it was Dan Marley, and then the team followed the player. Gav was pretty much the same. It was KJ, right? And then the team followed the player.
Right. And we were when, and like Nate said, back when we started following basketball, we got an hour of NBA inside action on a Saturday morning, and then basically highlights of a game for an hour. And that was all we got.
Wow.
And the only way you could get scores from the NBA back then, pre-internet, was the following day's newspaper.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it was pre-internet. Like, I know this is really bad, but we didn't have the internet in schools here till I was in grade 6.
Yeah.
So we weren't able to look up box scores and shit. It was Slam.
And for me, I
I
was a couple of years later than Nate, so I was probably year 8, where I was a huge basketball fan, but really the news I got was 24 hours after it happened in the US.
Yeah.
Right.
And all we got was the games on Saturday. For me, it was highlights, and I think an NBA top 10 where I saw a KJ highlight and went, look at that little guy, like on Hakeem Olajuwon. That was where I started following the Suns. And not only that, it was the fact that everybody here followed the Celtics, the Bulls, and the Lakers. And I went, I'm not following them.
Advertised teams.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not following them. I want someone else. Saw a highlight of KJ, and that was it.
That's the Aussie way, right?
Yeah.
90
syndrome, cut them down.
The 1992 Olympics, Charles Barkley had a run-in with Shane Hill,
the hammer.
Hell yeah, he did.
Our Australian, one of our favourite basketball sons. And he
6'1" blonde guy took on
blonde frosted tips. He's just fucking, and he's chirping and going chest to chest with Charles Barkley. And I just I said, fucking, I'm getting on this Barkley guy. He's fucking sick. And then he won MVP. And I remember I knew fuck all about the NBA, about anything about it, and I thought MVP stood for most violent player because of that little argument he had with Shane Hill, and I thought he is very violent. He's a very violent player. Yeah, so that's my guy, and then I learnt from there, and I stayed with the Suns since then, and that was. It was fucking beautiful, but through the 7 seconds or less era, we didn't. Well, me personally, I didn't have any. I don't know when League Pass came about, but I didn't have Foxtel or any sort of cable TV. So I was on my iPhone fucking 3, I think, iPhone 2 or 3 back then. Going NBA.com and fucking going to the play-by-play box score and just refreshing. Scrolling, you're swiping.
That's fucking awesome.
Swipe, and I
so
did that
dope.
for 2.5
That's awesome,
fucking
bro.
hours for a whole season.
That's fucking awesome.
That's
dude.
love.
What was the other half of the question there, Dan?
I'll ask it now, but real quick, did you guys have NBA inside stuff? I know Flex remembers
Yes.
NBA inside
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Hell
With
yeah.
the Ahmad Rashad.
1 hour Saturday, NBA.
Ahmad Rashad and Willow Bay. Willow Bay and Ahmad Rashad.
yes.
I fucking never forget.
So it was
man,
1 hour
that's great.
NBA inside stuff, and then 1 hour of a condensed game was basically what we had every Saturday.
I got a question for y'all. Okay, and it's more of a dare, not a question. But
Oh, careful.
first of all, first of all, me and Dan got something going on already that we've already committed to. So I want to know if y'all down to do this shit. So I see. First of all, do y'all got tats? I can see you got tats on the arms there, brother. I see the guns out. I see the guns out. Do you other two got any tats?
I've got a
I'm already in on this dare. I'm already in.
Out already.
I've got a Pamela Anderson barbed wire armband.
Okay. Which is really Aussie, just quietly.
So here's my question, guys. Are y'all willing to get down with the Coast to Coast podcast, me and my boy Dan Duarte, on a deal that we made a couple years ago, that if the Phoenix Suns actually win a championship, we will put NBA championship trophies on our body?
Absolutely.
Yes.
We were already going to do this last year.
Already committed to it.
We totally
I
committed.
just wanted to get a Suns tat. The last 3 trips I've had to Phoenix, but I was too fucking drunk to get it done. Too hungover the next day. So this trip I got it.
I've already worded up the wife. If the Suns win a championship, there is a tat going on my ankle with the year of the title.
Okay.
You know what's?
Hey, boy, you down, boy? You doing that?
Yeah,
boy?
man. Yeah, I'll have to ask Mrs.
I actually got a follow up for y'all. because I want.
Are you going to be in Phoenix though? Are we going to get it done together? Because
we're doing it together. No.
We don't know where to get the tattoos done over there.
I'm talking about getting together at this fucking parade.
Yep.
And all getting together and going down to a spot and getting our tattoos, NBA Phoenix tattoos, right on them arms. And,
no question here.
and put a you know why? Because the dedication, man, is people don't understand the amount of time that it takes to be at the level you guys are in your fandom, right? For all of us, right? You just struck a chord you got with the story you were saying, because when I was a kid, it was the same way. I was on the East Coast, no cable, no way to watch anything West Coast. And so I would get up every morning and make sure my mother gave me 35 cents so that I can buy the local newspaper on my way to school. And it had to be the late edition so that I could look at the box score and follow the season through the box score. And I tell you, I used to cut the box scores out, and I had a book every season, and I would stick every game in there till I got to 82. And I would come up with, I'm telling you, a scrapbook, a seasonal scrapbook with all the box scores. And then I would, at the end of the year, make my own team MVP and all that stuff. And I literally followed the team through the newspaper.
Yeah. Which is what we did. Yes.
Which is what. So I can relate, man. And that's a whole different level of commitment. When you're sitting here and there was a time where I was watching players and I would talk to my friends about players, and I never seen these guys play. You know what I mean? I just see them in the box score. Wow. So it was like, man, that kid, I'm sitting here, I'm saying, man, that Jeff Hornacek is cold. That Jeff Hornacek is ass off. And I actually never saw Jeff Hornacek play a game in his life, but through the box scores, I'm seeing him put 22, 24, 26. And so I'm saying this guy can shoot. So it's a different level. But my second question to you guys is, looking at this year and looking at where we are, is there one team, and I know I don't know if you probably got this question, but is there one team that you look at and you say, that's a team I lose sleep over with this Phoenix Suns basketball team?
Yes.
Who's that team? For
me, it's the Clippers.
Each one of you guys. Wow. Ooh.
It's they've got the same mentality that we do, and everyone right down the line will fight to the death, and now they've got PG back. The only hope, or we were talking about hope before, I hold faith that playoff PG comes true, and he just learns to forget how to play basketball again.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Are you talking Western Conference or the entire?
No, I'm talking about overall in the entire NBA. Is there one team that you sit down and you say, "I'll take a pass. I don't want to go through that headache for a week and a half"?
Okay, cool. I'm at a point now. I'm too fucking deep into this. There's no way anyone's worrying me. We're fucking getting there. It's just a matter of whether it's 4-game sweeps or we're going to let them get one, and it could be 5 or 6 or whatever. So
heads up for you guys. Boyd never predicts a loss ever.
He's an 82-0 guy.
Sounds like my buddy Justin.
Yeah. I'm totally in. I think honestly, this team, our floor is so far above everyone else's in the comp. It's really silly. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm right there.
Damn.
So me, I'm not worried about the West. I think we come out of the West no matter who we play. The trickiest matchup we have, I agree with Nate, is the Clippers. If we have to come up against them, I'm not real fussed about anyone else. In fact, I kind of hope we play both the Lakers and the Warriors, just so that we can get on Twitter after we beat them and fucking hammer the fuck out of their supporters. My biggest concern is out of the East. Who comes out of the East? When it comes to the NBA Finals, whether it's the Bucks or me, it's the Bucks or the Nets. If the Nets get fair income, they could be very, very tough to stop. But in saying that, I think Phoenix made running plays popular again.
Okay.
And not only running plays popular, but running plays and running structures, winning basketball again, rather than one-on-one basketball, which is where I think the Nets will struggle.
Kawhi Leonard is going to be fucking Klay Thompson 2.0 when he comes back. Fucking Paul George has done nothing in the fucking playoffs to worry anybody in the last few years. So let's just forget about the fucking Clippers for a second.
Nick, in interest of giving you the floor, Boyd, let's talk about Miami and the depth of their two white. What did you call them?
Oh, don't fucking bring this shit up all the time, man.
They're two white flakes.
Miami worry me more than oh fuck. I think if Ben Simmons
joins
Brooklyn, they worry me more than Miami. But right now,
I think they already said that Simmons is basically gone for the year.
No, he's back at training.
He's rehabbing. Yeah, he's rehabbing, trying to get back.
He's Australian.
Yeah, he is Australian, guys.
You can call 13-1114. That's Lifeline Australia. If you're struggling from mental health issues, Australians can call 13-1114.
All right. So what about you two?
Do you want to go first, Dan? Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
All right. I tell you what. I'm very much like a lot of you guys in the West. I'm not too worried at all. I actually have a preference in the West, and I agree with you, Gavin. I want the Lakers, I want the Warriors, and I want Memphis. I want all of them. Because I'm tired of the excuses. I think I want to put Yeller to sleep, which is the Lakers, Mr. LeBron. I call him Yeller. I want to put Yeller to sleep, and then I want to slay that dragon of Steph Curry. And then I want everybody to realize that Devin Booker is the best player in basketball, and we could put Ja Morant to sleep along the way. You know what I mean? So that's my hope. I want all three of those. But if I got to answer the question, in the Eastern Conference, I do have some trepidation about the Brooklyn Nets because I'm out here, and I'm 8 minutes away from those guys, and I see a lot of them, and I know a lot of people in that camp. And at the end of the day, you still want to, there's still Kyrie Irving and there's still Kevin Durant, and it'll be a fucking nightmare in the NBA Finals to have to deal with those two guys for a 7-game series. And then if you add Ben Simmons to the mix, that's the wild card. You just don't know. There's not enough tape. Mm-hmm. There's not enough ways to analyze the situation. Like I'll give you an example about tape. I think that's why the Suns lost tonight. There's no fucking tape on those guys that played tonight. There's no scouting report on the guys that played tonight. All right. Those guys, we didn't even know they were going to play. And so they're coming out here and they played a free loose game, and the Suns really didn't have nothing to go on because scouting and analytics is a big part of the game, especially pregame. And so I worry if Ben Simmons comes into the mix later on, if there's going to be enough to go on in a series, depending on
especially in that lineup.
Especially in that lineup, it could be a boom or bust. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I do worry about that. But when I say worry, I'm more with Boyd. It's a worry, but it's not enough that I'm losing sleep because I do think this is the best team in basketball.
Yeah.
And I do think that the flaws that the Nets do have, which I see every night, is they couldn't stop a fucking nosebleed. And so, you're not going to beat the Phoenix Suns. You're not, I use a baseball term. you can't hit home runs against the Phoenix Suns. You got to hit
Right.
singles and doubles the whole fucking game.
Book gonna have 70 in a NBA Finals game.
Book.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
'cause they
mean,
can't
shit.
stop him.
I don't put nothing.
I like it.
I don't, man. I don't put any cap on what Devin Booker can do. That kid just, he's just incredible. And the last thing I'll say about it is about this basketball team, before I pass it to Dan, is, Richard Jefferson, the other night when we were playing Golden State, he said one of the most interesting comments that I've heard any announcer, anyone in the national media say about the Phoenix Suns. I thought it nailed it, and I thought it's the epitome of what this basketball team is. He said, the Phoenix Suns play like they have one brain. That's what he said. He said, and on a basketball team, you got 4 or 5 guys out there, and they all have their own brain, and they all have their way of doing things, and they all kind of got to mesh it together. And the Phoenix Suns are the best team at playing with one brain. That team 1 through 15 has the same ideas, same concepts. And they just think the game of basketball at a level that's just superior to anybody right now this year. So to answer the question, I think it's the Nets, but I think we're the best team in basketball. As long as we continue to do what we're going to do, we're going to be fine.
Dan?
The West, nobody really scares me. There's teams I don't want to play because I don't want to deal with their fans. Like, I can't stand Warrior fans. I can't stand the Warriors. This goes back to when they were playing against the Cavs. I think Steph Curry's the biggest douche in the league, and it's not even close.
I agree with you, and I also think fucking Klay Thompson is a douche.
Yeah,
he is.
Everyone else gets that.
He is a
I
douche.
brought that up in a pod a few weeks ago, and everyone went, "Oh no, Klay Thompson."
No,
I'm with you 100%.
And this goes to me where I'm like, other than players on the Suns, I might like 3 players in the NBA just because I can't bring myself to like somebody that doesn't play on the Suns. I root for the name on the front of the jersey, not the back.
That's all.
Me and Flex have said this all the time.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to appreciate another player. It just is. Sorry. Actually, no, fuck that. Not sorry.
No, fuck that.
But
I do
say
like
that,
Darius Garland though.
I like Tyrese Maxey. Like, people, you got players out there that you can like. So yeah, the Warriors, like, you guys know how I feel about the Warriors, and there's Draymond, which makes it worse. Steve Kerr. Come on, man. Like, you got that team and you're going to be considered a top 75. You're going to be on the top 75
of all
team
time,
or whatever the fuck that was. That's bullshit. But nobody in the West really scares me. I just don't want to deal with the fans. And this just may be a little PTSD. Not to say, and I'm worried about them just a little bit, but I also want this team. It's the Bucks.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I said it last night. Yes, sir.
I want revenge, man. I want revenge because we had that series last year. I mean, hell, man. We Flex. We were up till 3 in the morning after game 2, man. And that's the last game we fucking won. Part of me is like, damn, did we jinx that? But
I hate that. I think about it all the time. I should have never.
Reality was that was 2 moments. 2 moments cost us that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so go ahead. Yo, guys, hold on. Let's talk about that. Because this is something I've been having conversations about. You said there's 2 moments.
2 moments.
Can we talk about those 2
moments?
moments?
It's about to turn into a 2-part pod, by the way.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna make this quick. I'm gonna give you 1 moment. I'm gonna give y'all 1 moment that I think if this one play doesn't happen, the Phoenix Suns are NBA champions. And it's fucking Monty Williams. Can anybody guess what I'm talking about? Monty Williams did one stupid thing in that NBA Finals that cost us a championship. And to this day, I can't watch that play because I really believe that it was Monty that cost us the championship. And I'll tell you, can you guys guess?
I'm gonna guess. Was it him not challenging the Devin Booker bouncing the ball off PJ Tucker's foot?
That's the series right there. That's it. You challenge that play. The Suns are up 7 with the ball. You challenge that play. That fucking game's over.
Yeah.
And we win the NBA championship. You don't challenge the play. They come down, hit a 3, make it 4. They come down on the next play, get an and 1, make it 1. and it's a whole different ball game. That
All right,
ball was
I need a
clearly
minute.
off PJ's foot. Oh, I'm sorry, brother. Damn. Oh, he got to go. I thought I gave him the PS. I thought I gave him the
Well, you
stretcher.
gave someone PTSD.
Yeah.
So
I
Dan,
thought
put a
I slept
1-800 in front of it. 131114.
Yo, Justin hit me up the other day, guys, and he told me, he goes, Flex, I heard you're gonna jump on with the Aussie boys. And I said, yeah, I can't wait. And he said, I had a fucking blast. Best part I've ever done. So as soon as he told me that, I'm like, shit, I can't wait, man. This is going and I can't, guys, this has been fun. We got to do this again, man.
It has been fun. It has been fun. All right.
Next time we might even have an agenda with a timeline.
Do you have any other questions for us, Flex? While Dan's got walkabout.
You know what? Is this the best basketball team you've ever seen in a Phoenix Suns uniform?
Oh, we've had this conversation the last couple of weeks, actually.
Okay, I want to know that because I've been having that conversation. Is this the best team you've ever seen?
Let me just sort of change that a little bit because I suggested some topics. I've got some players. I mean, I think it's the best team to answer your question.
Okay.
Individually, would you place overall all-time Suns players? Would you place Mikal Bridges over Sean Marion if we win the chip? If we win the chip.
Oh,
if we win the chip.
No. If
Come on, man.
okay. So no. If we win the chip, so I'm gonna give you my 5. Can I give you my 5?
Well, that's coming up. That's coming up.
Okay. Yeah. No.
There's more. Fucking hell, Gav.
If Mikal.
It's all right. We've covered 3 of them, but that's coming up. But
so to answer that question, yes, if Mikal wins the championship, I'm going to throw 2 things out there. If Mikal wins the championship and also wins what I think he deserves, Defensive Player of the Year, he takes Sean Marion's spot. And by the way, Sean Marion was a fantastic defender. Could you believe that guy never made an All-NBA defensive team?
yeah,
Ever?
it's ridiculous.
That's
ridiculous.
But
Really
yeah.
don't believe
He also, but might I add, he also disappeared a lot of the playoffs, so that kind of sucks.
He did.
Sorry. I
got the question.
By the way,
Flex,
So go ahead.
by the way,
Flex asked the question. Boyd, is this the best Suns side you've ever seen? Yes,
Yes.
or no?
Yes.
Go.
Yes, it is.
and I
Mate?
apologize. I had to step away because my PTSD kicked in there. So
I knew it was that.
but-
I knew
hey,
it was that.
because you had to
I'm
break
sorry,
it
brother.
down in
I'm
a
sorry, brother.
scientific way of
I'm
what
sorry,
the fuck
brother.
happened that game. And I'm like, good Lord.
Nate,
I'm sorry, brother.
Nate, is
I'm
this
sorry,
the
brother.
best Suns side you've ever seen?
all right.
And
It's all right.
we only spoke about this 2 weeks ago.
We
So let's
all
see if
agree that it is, but we just want to see that little bit more. I think we agreed on
What's
that. right?
What's that little bit more? The championship?
A repeat of
Does
last
it require
year.
a championship?
The championship, yes, but I mean, even just repeating what happened last year before you get to the championship, to get to the Western Conference and have 2 Western Conference Finals championships in a row, that then puts me qualified to say,
Okay.
you know what, yes,
Okay.
and then now let's take it to fuck all.
So that was effectively the answer we came up with 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Was if this Sun side goes to the Western Conference Finals, wins it, and makes it to the finals again, yes, it's the best Sun side we've ever seen.
Okay. So there's prerequisites. You gotta get to the NBA finals and put two Western Conference finals. Okay. I get it. That's fair.
We
That's
said, we believe it already, but we just want to see that bit more.
You got to see the other one. Okay. That's fair. I think it's the best Phoenix Suns team I've ever seen. And I think the way I look at it is I like to actually just imagine that these teams will play. And so the 3 teams that come up is this team, the 92, 93 team, and the 04 team.
Yeah.
And when I look at it from that aspect, I just think that this team is so far superior defensively than any of those 2 teams were. And so I think if they played, if we had if us great Suns fans, all of us here, if God gave us some special gift to say, hey, we could put you 5 guys in an empty gym and watch the 93 team versus this team, who would win? I'd bet the house that this team would win. And I think I'd say the same thing for that 05, 04 team. So That's how
What
I
year are
look
we
at it.
playing in, Flex? What year are we playing in?
Oh, that's a great point. That's a great point because if we're playing with the current rules, this team dominates. But now, if you're playing with the rules where you can hand check and do a lot of certain other things like those 92, 93 teams had to deal with, that's a different dynamic. So that's a great point. That's a great point. It also depends on the era you're playing in, because if Kevin Johnson played in this era, he'd be the fucking best point guard in the league. You can grab Kevin. You couldn't guard Kevin Johnson back then. And back then the rules were you can actually grab somebody and hand check them 94 feet. You can't do that anymore. So that's the loss. That's a perspective that we have to take into account. But at the end of the day, I do think that this team, because of Chris Paul, because of Devin Booker, and because of the defensive principles and the things they do, I still give the edge to them. But yeah, man, it's a tough question. And I think I'm with y'all. If they win a championship, I think they cement it, or at least get there again. I think they cement it.
All right. So I have other requirements that I'm very late for. So last question. Your all-time Suns lineup. We're going to start with you, Dan.
Oof.
First, is it in their prime as a player?
All-time Suns lineup that played for the Suns.
Shut up and let the guest answer.
How they performed. Dan.
I'm gonna guess it's what their skill set was when they were with the Suns.
Correct.
Damn. This is gonna be tough. Center. I'm just gonna say DeAndre Ayton, because I feel like he's already the best center we've had ever. Small forward, I'll take Sean Marion. Power forward, I'll take Chuck. Even though Amari was phenomenal. The two guard, I'm gonna take Devin Booker. And point guard,
The hardest one.
Yeah.
the point guard, I'm gonna say Chris Paul just because he plays defense.
Okay.
And unfortunately, Steve Nash couldn't.
Boyd.
Okay.
Hey, this is just for the guests. We've already done this.
Oh, yeah, we've done this.
We do this every other pod.
We have.
You get
All
that?
right, Flex.
All right, so I'm gonna say the two bookends are, no pun intended, Devin Booker and Charles Barkley. Those are the two bookends. Book's at the 2, Charles is at the 4. The small forward position, Boyd, you just fucked my head up with the whole Sean Marion Mikal thing, because I want to say Sean Marion, but I because I'm answering the question today is Sean Marion. But if
he fucked me up because he made me. I would have said Mikal before
he said that.
You know, before he said that. So
right.
now I have to say Sean Marion.
Yeah, so it's Sean Marion today. But when we getting these tattoos in downtown Phoenix in June, it's gonna be Sean. I mean, it's gonna be Mikal. Ask me again when we getting attached, when I'm in line. Get detached. So yeah, so right now
We'll go live at that time.
Right. Oh, that'd be nuts. I'm gonna throw a curveball here though. I'm not gonna take DeAndre at center. I'm actually gonna put Amari at center if I could. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play Amari at center. I'm gonna play Amari at center. I'm gonna play Barkley at the 4, Sean Marion at the 3, Book at the 2, and then man, the fucking point guard is crazy because you got to remember, God, you're talking about Kevin Johnson, you're talking about Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, and CP. And so recency bias is going to easily be Chris Paul because that's what we're seeing right now. But goddamn, if Steve Nash wasn't incredible, 2-time MVP, right? And then I hate when people don't talk about Jason Kidd because
Me too, man.
I have a little bit of a soft spot for Jason Kidd because he's from my era of basketball, my class, and so I saw a lot of Jason Kidd, and man, that guy was special. So that's a fucking tough one, man. But yeah, go ahead, talk to me.
I think if you're talking synergy and you got Amari at center, I think your point guard's picked out for you almost, isn't it?
It's got to be Steve Nash, right? Because if you got Amari at center, I mean, you got that synergy. You go Steve Nash. So
that pick and roll was so fucking dead, man.
Right. So you know what? I'm gonna use the same theory we just used. If in June we got a championship, I go with Chris Paul and Mikal. But if we don't, today I'm going Steve Nash, Devin Booker, Sean Marion, Charles Barkley, and Amari Stoudemire.
And I think that's the important thing to note. And it's the hardest part of where we're at right now. If we win a championship, Chris Paul walks in as the greatest point guard that the Suns have ever seen.
Absolutely.
Guys, we're at a fucking crossroad right now. In this little period of time right now, we're at a crossroad. This is
Who's the coach? Who's the coach?
Coach.
Paul Westphal.
Ooh,
Oh, Monty Williams. No.
okay. Who you got?
Monty Williams wouldn't have had the Valley Oop if it wasn't for Paul Westphal.
That's a fact. That's a
Well, if
fact.
we're going to start
Yeah,
talking
but-
about coaches, I had one last question of you, Flex, from you were talking about
Yeah.
when you were looking at box scores, and you
Yeah.
mentioned Jeff Hornacek. You're like, wow,
Yeah.
did you ever read a Jeff Hornacek box score and say he was going to be the best coach?
No.
Oh, shit.
No, I never read.
He's not that
read a
good.
box
He's
score.
not that good.
I never read a box score and said he was going to be a great coach.
And
Good.
I tell you what, the only reason, and Monty wins the championship, he becomes the best coach, straight up. There's not even a debate. But I still remember that 5-game series against the Lakers where Paul came out and just went, we're going to win it
Love
in
it.
5.
Love it.
That
Love
wins
it.
it
Oh, that
every
was-
day of the week for me.
That was
Hey,
pimp shit.
hey,
Period.
I swear to you guys, I remember it like it was yesterday, and I still hear that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, word for word. I remember it was like we're gonna win the game on Tuesday, and then we'll win again on Thursday, and then we'll come back here on Sunday. We'll win again, and everybody will say what a great series it was.
Yeah.
Verbatim. I mean, the fucking guy was ice cold.
crazy.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
so yeah, I think I'm going Paul Westphal, but yo, Cotton Fitzsimmons was incredible, guys.
Yeah, Cotton was a great coach.
Cotton
and
was
we never
incredible,
suspected.
man. Yeah, Cotton was.
I'm
incredible.
going Monty. But I think if we're talking synergy and we're talking, my head goes to different places. I'm
Mike
thinking,
D'Antoni.
So you're thinking
no.
You're thinking
No.
Igor.
No. I'm just
Terry
I'm just trying to
Porter.
think.
Terry Porter got to be the guy.
Monty.
Terry Porter.
Monty is a new age coach, right? He's in tune with the kids nowadays and their feelings, and he brings them all together and he gets it right.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd do quite as well in that sort of more hard-nosed era back in the 90s with some of them guys that we've got in there. There wouldn't be that respect, I guess. And look, I think vice versa. If you pull someone from the old cloth and throw them in today, they're just going to be fucking, they're just not going to respond.
Yeah, I
think,
disagree. I think both Westphal and Monty Williams were about relationships, and
They
I don't
were
care
players'
what
coach.
era they were in, they would have created those.
But there's still, I guess, there's still fundamental differences on their day-to-day stuff, how they talk to people. I guess. Well, I feel like
Yeah.
there is. I feel like there'd be a difference.
That's fair because like somebody
That is
like George
fair.
Karl. I mean, we saw it firsthand. George Karl couldn't coach in the NBA in this.
In the
I mean,
playoffs.
he that's why.
No,
Yeah.
he couldn't.
Not just
but
that. He like
when you're
he,
talking
like,
about
his
Westphal
last
and
job,
Monty-
he didn't do well because he
Westphal and
couldn't communicate
Monty
with
were
players.
they're both adaptable,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is what I'm talking about. George Karl.
Yeah, they're player
was not
coaches.
adaptable.
Yeah, you're right. Player coaches.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, and you're gonna need a hell of a coach to calm Charles Barkley's crazy ass down.
Yeah, that's it.
You got to be one of those two guys.
You were talking about past eras before, Boyd. I mean, the amount of time that we've been doing this podcast now, I feel like society outside has reached a whole new level of gender fluidity. This is now definitely a series. This is no longer a single pod. This is a two-parter. So, Gav, if you got any closing remarks, I'd love to get up.
That's what I was getting to. I wanted to say a big thank
No
you.
offense,
to
Flex and Dan, but I'm sure it's
Flex
2
and
in the
Dan,
freaking
thank you.
morning where you are. You'd like to go to bed, right?
Flex and Dan, thank you very much for joining us. This was a hell of a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. Nate, Boyd, as always, great fun. We will see you two on Monday night. Dan, Flex, last comments, go for it.
Nothing, man. Just you know what? I appreciate. Hey, I appreciate you guys bringing me and Flex back together because.
Yeah.
God damn, if we haven't been able to, hammer out a good time to get on one of these and just record together. So it's like, for me, man, it's therapeutic. And I appreciate I appreciate you guys having us on. I'm a big fan. I love how the insults and the shit talking just rolls off the tongue for you guys. It's unbelievable. It's
We've
truly
toned
one
it
of a
down a bit
kind.
too.
So you know,
Boyd has not
it's
dropped
great,
a
man.
single C-bomb in 2 hours.
He did. He dropped
Oh, he
one.
did?
Drop one.
Well, I missed it.
So
Kudos to you
thank
anyway,
you guys. I appreciate it, and it's a lot of fun, man. And I love listening to you guys. You guys are definitely in my son's podcast rotation, and I can't say that about a lot of son's podcasts. So thank you for having me.
Appreciate it, Dan. Thank you very much for joining us. Flex, last comments?
Yeah, I echo that, man. This is probably one of the best pods I've ever done. I just had a blast, man. This is fucking incredible, and I can't wait to do it again. So I can't thank you guys enough for the invite and getting me and Dan on. I echo what Dan said. It was really nice to get back on with my brother over here, and I think you guys might have sparked something. So I think you guys might be responsible for the resurgence of the Coast to Coast, because this felt really good to get back with my brother and especially with you guys. I'm a big fan of you guys, man. I love what y'all do. I love your passion. I love your dedication. We need more of this shit in the Suns, in the Suns form in general. So thank you guys for what y'all do. Thanks for the invite. Thanks for the motivation and the kick in the ass that's probably going to happen with me and Dan. So, yeah, I look forward to it, man. And my last thing I could say is please don't forget us, man. Get us back on soon, and I'd love to do it again, bro.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
We will absolutely have you guys back on soon. We might even, now that we got 6 seats, we might have to throw Justin in there as well.
Oh, shit, you're right.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Just to
board
wind some
table.
shit up. Although no one else will get to talk because, I mean, I could talk a lot. Justin has been.
Oh man, that dude
every
can
day.
chatter.
Oh my God.
Shout out, Just. Love my boy, Just.
But tonight was a fucking awesome night. And thank you guys. We will see you next time.
Awesome.
Cheers, boys.
Thanks for having us, man.
Peace out, guys. Hey, yo, this is your boy Flex from Jersey, the Coast to Coast podcast over here with my boy Dan Duarte. And when we kicking it and chilling, we listening to the Aussie Suns fans. Shit, man. You know what threw me off?
You were
I
on a
had it.
roll, bro.
No, you know what threw me off was Aussie Suns fan podcast. Okay, I was reading my man's thing and I got thrown off. Let me do it again. Yo, this your boy.
That's the blooper reel at the end now.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, Dave. ... Was that good?
It's gonna be a good time.